Susan from Susan's Art and Junk Journaling. Thank you for joining me today. If you watched a recent video of mine, you saw that I was able to get a whole bunch of these cards. They're empty on the inside, matte on the inside, shiny on the outside. I'm taking them, folding them in half, and I want to cut off, well, I'd say approximately an inch off of one side. I've got this massive old Webster's Universal Dictionary. I think it's from 1993. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter when it's from. I want to completely cover each one of these with this book page. I'm going to cut out 6 pages, and instead of tearing, I'm just going to run my X-Acto knife, my sword of exact zero, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got my card that I cut. One side is shorter than the other. I am going to glue onto, I don't think it really matters. When I glue it on, I'm going to take this side and go over so that when it's covered, this side will have book page on it. I'll show you how I'm going to do it. I've decided I'm doing it a different way. It's easier to glue. I've got my Aleene's tacky glue to glue onto a matte side. The shiny side, the glue is hard to get it to adhere. I'm going to completely cover let's see. I will cover this a little bit better to the edge. Try to line it up so it's tidy. I think I'm going to have to cover up that glue now. I'm going to make a big mess. Why there's no glue on the inside here. I don't like that. Let me change this. This is the long side. This is the short side. On the long side, I cut the extra off. So this is nice and smooth. And then I'm going to take an ink around this edge to highlight that. I think I'll ink this too. Give it some personality. We like our papers to have personality, don't we? When I put this inside a journal, I'm going to put it in this way so that the sentences are going vertically. This is going to be too wide to put into most of my journals this way. I'll have to go in this way and go like that. You can also make this into a tag. I'll go up to that fold line. This one I did a little different. I put glue on the face side of the card that's got the shiny side, just along the perimeter. I'm going to trim this down a little bit. Make this a little smooth, because when I use wet glue it makes everything pucker. I'm going to try smoothing it and see if it makes it a little bit neater. There we go. Fold that up. And then I will do the thumb notch again. How good am I at doing center? There we go. That worked a little bit better than this one. Each time I do one of these, I get a little bit more efficient with it, and I make it better. The first one I did, I didn't fold it while it was wet, and it pulled an awful lot on the whole getup. So what I'll do is right away fold this over. Then trim down a couple inches. Go, and there's a nice little white line here that I need to remove now that I've folded the wet paper. Now it folds better, it stays down better, it doesn't fight me as much. This is already aged because the book is from '93. Gosh, that doesn't seem like a long time ago, but now just put a little glue on the short flap. Then I put it under a heavy box. Some of them I've been cutting. One I also rounded the corners to make it like a journaling card. I'm going to do this again, and instead of using greeting cards, I've got a tissue box that I'm I'm going to disassemble. Oh, goodness. Okay. Goodness, that's glued good. Okay, so that's going to be the short side, obviously. I could use my trimmer, but I'm just going to cut. This way you can take advantage of free boxes. You can do the same thing with pudding boxes, cake boxes, cake mixes, you know, any kind of cardboard boxes that you've got. I'm going to make this smaller. Cut them both this length, width, and then I'm going to make one leg even smaller. So there they are, both the same. I'm going to take and make one smaller so that it can be a pocket again, like what I did with the greeting cards. And this time I think I can use a smaller book page. I've got this from an auction. Let's see, I think I'll use that map. I'll use my X-Acto knife again to cut, instead of trying to tear, because whenever I try to tear a page out, it always goes wrong. There we go. And I want this to be the side that's seen. There we go. And then I will glue again. About right. There we go. I'm going to fold that up while the glue is wet. Crease it and follow the creases to cut it. I've got it trimmed, and on the long side, short side, long side, on the long side, I cut another 1.5 inches, 2 inches. There we go. And then on the short side, I will do a thumb notch again. Let's see if I can center this. I'm so bad about making things centered. Since this isn't aged like the dictionary was, I'll do a little more. Just Distress Oxide than I did on the other papers. So if you don't have extra greeting cards that you don't want to use, you can use tissue boxes or any other box that you've got. You're limited to what you've got on hand, and it can be limitless. There we go. And then I will glue this edge. then I can decorate them as I see fit when I want to put them in a journal. So these are just good bases to start with. And nice and firm too, because, you know, look at this. It's nice and stiff. So let me show you all of the ones I got made. I'm not going to add this coffee dyed paper to all of these, but I wanted to show you on the back if you wanted to make it so that it was a journaling space. I've got this leftover coffee dyed paper. I'm going to use my Yoo-Hoo Says Strong and Fast. I can't attest to how well it holds because it seems like I've made some things and used Yoo-Hoo and it didn't stay adhered. So, you know, you use the glue that you think is going to hold well for you, but I just wanted to do this quickly just to show you. Here we go. So we've got a tuck spot here and then a journaling spot here. This is the little one that I made out of the tissue box, and it is not quite 4.5 inches by 3.25 inches. I glued some coffee dyed paper on the back of that one as well. It's got a nice little tuck spot here. Let me run there we go. These are all the ones that were made from the greeting cards, and these are about 6 inches by about 4 inches. Yep. Didn't put enough glue. Oh, I didn't put any glue on the top of that one. I'm gonna have to put glue on the top of that one. I did the bottom. And this one's with the rounded tag shape, rounded, and this is the one that I just added the coffee dyed to. I think I'm going to get my watercolor paints out and do a little bit of a decoration on this side real quick. I'm watching a Antoine studio video where she does watercolor painting. She's using, of course, watercolor paper and proper watercolors. Mine came in a cheap set. I don't even know what brand this is. I've already added water to, it looks kind of like a Kelly green. And then I love this blue. I think it's so pretty. And then water to this little peachy area. And the video that's inspiring me to do this, and of course, like I say, she's using watercolor paper, I'm using book page. So it's going to look completely different than what she's doing, but I'm using her example for what I'm doing here. So I thought I'd refer you to her. But the title of the video is 5 Watercolor Lessons I Wish I'd Learned Much Younger. And she's basically just, and of course, she's using watercolor brushes that are pointy, and I'm using a flat. So mine's gonna look so different than hers. But hey, I'm going to have fun anyway. I should have started with the lighter color first, so let me get, there we go. I'll start with the lighter green first. And I'm just basically doing like a parentheses, connected parentheses. Swirl, point, swirl, point. They don't have to look real. It's just a way of decorating the page. There we go. So there's the green. Now I'll go back and do this beautiful blue. I know there's not leaves in the real world that are blue like this, but this is art. And you can make your leaves whatever color you want. And I love that blue, so I'm going to use it. For grins and giggles, I can go back and add some green to these to make them look a little more green. And what I like what she did too in the background of all of these, she added a pretty neutral color just to kind of fill in the spaces. I know that's got some blue and green on it, but that's okay. And then she just kind of went through and added a neutral color in the background. I will link her video in the description box if you want to see her do it properly. I'm just doing, you know, just something fun. It's just junk journaling, right? I'm using book page and greeting cards that I got for free and a tissue box that I got for free. I like to use, you know, found items, cheap books, boxes. I'm not big on buying digital, so, you know, I might change my mind when I get older. I'm going to be 62, so. And then I'm going to dry this and then do the detail like she did with black. Diane used a black brush pen on her leaves to decorate them. I don't have a brush pen. I do have licorice acrylic matte paint that I am going to add water to and thin down quite a bit, because then it flows much, much better. I've got an awful lot of black on here. You don't need much when you're doing fine detail. Definitely gonna have to do something with this black when I'm done so I don't waste it. I'm gonna start at the top. And when you thin it with water, it flows much, much better. You don't have to be neat and tidy and precise with this at all. Let's see, I think I'll I'll pull this leaf in the front of the others. This is looking so nice. I love it. She had a really cute idea. Mine doesn't look anything like hers. I'm just using her as a reference. And I'm thinking the edges look a little boring. Let me see if I can do like stitch. Look, a faux stitch. I decorated just the one just to give you an idea of what you can do on these. You could add stickers on here, you could collage, you could make a little tuck spot, you could put some lace across the bottom, make it a little bit of a pocket. This is the one that was made out of the Kleenex box. This is really substantial. This is very, very sturdy. So you can use any old greeting card you've got. You've got old birthday cards, old Christmas cards, old thank you cards that you don't plan on keeping and cherishing. Just cover them with book page. On the back, you can have with just a plain piece of paper or coffee dyed paper like I did. And these can fit inside of a pocket in a journal. You could put a little bit of a like a flap here, like this. Glue on a flap. Of course you'd want it the full height of, or you could make it short. Let's see, you could glue this on. Let's see if I can hold it. You can glue this on and make it a flip up inside a journal. It's all kinds of ideas, but I just wanted to do some basic tag or journal card pockets to show you how to do the process. I know there's tons of videos out on the internet. I'm sure you've probably seen lots of them, but this is what I did, and I will link Diane Antone's studio video for this. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let me cover that light there. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you could do that and comment so you can help my channel grow. Thanks again for joining me, guys. Keep warm, keep safe. I'm guessing you guys know me by now. I'm all about the PS. Just when I think I'm done with my video, I come up with something else. So this is more of the tissue box. Around the corners. I painted more of these just on one side. And this can be glued here. Let me do little thumb notch too, just a little one. That can be glued on there. Let's see around that side. Do a little bit of a thumb notch here too. So there we go. Make it a little pocket here, a little pocket there. Yeah, I think that's where I will end it this time.